from real estate and escrow title, right?
Yes,
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And next to me is Roman Reyes. Roman is a local artist, actor, and international artist, and he is well known for his work on the trilogy, The Lord of the Rings. The trilogy garnered 13, I'm nervous, I don't know why. Why am I nervous? I think it's because I have two guests. I'm not used to two guests. But the trilogy garnered 13 Academy Awards, and Roman's work as a special effects artist contributed to that effort. And here in this photo, you can see him doing some painting on the orcs.
Orcs, right.
Yeah, those demon-looking things, they're very scary. He's done so much as well, and these two individuals are here to satisfy one main agenda, and that is to promote the Arizona Latino Arts and Culture Center, and they are in need of help. So we're going to start with Al Preciado. We're going to find out what's going on with ALAC.
Well, thank you very much for inviting us, and I'm excited to promote one of the artists that we have. I want to go over our vision to sustain the premier nonprofit arts organization, the Arizona Latino Arts and Culture Center. We want to enhance the quality of life for all citizens through innovative educational programming and entrepreneurship that will engage the young and the young at heart.
That's right.
And why don't you talk about our mission statement?
Well, our mission statement is we're an advocacy organization. We want to be able to promote Latino culture, not only to the Hispanic community in Pueblo, but to the general public. We're a combination of artists and either performing artists, visual artists that have come together, and so we want to be able to bring cultural events to Arizona, which would include music, art, presentations as far as theater. So we're kind of very diverse, and so we want to be able to do all that for you.
Good.
So how we sustain ourselves right now is through art sales. So when you buy art, the artist gets some of the sales, and part of it goes to ALAC to maintain the facility. We have a galleria. We have receptions there. We host events there. Other organizations enjoy hosting events there. So we've had, like the Hispanic Association of Real Estate Professionals. We've had the Los Abogados, the Hispanic attorneys. We've had events from the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and a lot of nonprofits that are not Latino related, but through education and other groups. We sometimes have our political candidates come in and speak to our group, and so it's very beneficial for the community. But its main function is to host events.
Yeah, well, you know, last night we had a gentleman that is doing research, and he's finding all these artifacts, pre-Columbian artifacts that are in Europe, because when the conquistadores came over, and they pillaged and they took a lot of the things back to Europe, and so a lot of the treasures of Mexico are in Europe. And this gentleman is doing research and taking pictures of them. He's writing a book on them, and he's being able to do a DVD so that we can enjoy those also. And like this coming Friday, first Friday, we have a show. It's called Mil Palabras, or a picture's worth 1,000 words. And it's some of the photographers that'll be taking part is myself, Johnny Lozoya, Phil Soto. There's Beatriz Limon, and quite a few other ones. And so it's we invite everybody to go there and really see what these photojournalists have done. Because it's very exciting. Once again, it's you see a lot of their work in the newspapers and on the internet and so forth. So that's this Friday, Mil Palabras.
Okay. Now, prior to the show, Al was telling me that they are looking, it's 100% volunteers. The people that are at ALAC tending the art museum,
Yes.
so to speak, and the store that's in there, it's all 100% volunteers. So if you really are a supporter of the arts, I encourage you to get a hold of one of these two people, Al or Roman, and volunteer. And I myself am considering doing something once a month.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, at the store. I mean, I know add and I know how to add and subtract. I know a lot about money. So I promise to give the correct change back, but they need volunteers. They also need an injection of new membership, and apparently, is it monthly? A monthly membership?
No, this is
Oh.
for an annual, and
Wow.
the artist only pays $25 a year. Seniors pay 10.
Veterans?
Individual, you're a veteran. Individuals are 25. Veterans are 10. Students are 10. And we have corporate sponsors for, if you can give in kind or money. We begin at $1,000. That would be very helpful. We have other members that are, give what they can to the organization. Maybe it's 200, 300, 400, 500. And we're looking to expand this, not on the price, but what people can do, because we need things to be repaired. So we need carpeting, we need it to be installed, we need painting, we need fix up on the lights. And right, yeah, so there's a lot of things that we
Plumbing, yes.
funding.
If there's any plumbers out there,
Plumbing, thank
you. We need plumber volunteers.
But you know, the important thing about it is that we need all these things, but the return on that is that we provide a lot of educational experiences. For example, we have a lot of children that come in from a variety of schools. They'll come in and they'll take the whole morning. They'll come in and bring their lunch, and then we'll go and we'll take them to the back. For example, we have a mural that goes from one end of First Street to Second Street, 2 stories high, and it has paintings that we've done of Cesar Chavez, Huerta, Santana, Lalo Guerrero, Silvestre Herrera, our local, he passed away, local Medal of Honor winner.
Yeah.
And so we have it's a very very educational experience for them to see all this there, and not only for Hispanos, but for all the schools that come by. And so that's what we need this stuff for, so we can continue doing those type of things. We have a lot of people come in. To give you an example, I was leaving the ALAC, and then this tourist came by, and then they looked and they said, "What is this with these Latinos? They have all these skulls." And so there was an opportunity to tell them about Dia de los Muertos, And so it's a thing where we educate the public, and that's why we want to be able to have a nice place to. It is nice right now, but we want it to be better.
Yeah, so because we like to host wedding receptions there, networking events, it really helps, and so people do enjoy it because it's a beautiful place inside, and it's right in downtown Phoenix, at 2nd Street and Adams, right across from the Phoenix Convention Center.
Yeah, you can just get the light rail from wherever you're at in town. Come on in. It's within a block or two from ALAC, and then we also want to be able to. We're also offering classes too, and so once again, we need this things to be done so that we can have better access to materials and facilities in order to continue doing the classes. So we have some what do we call it, the brush and sip, where you come in and get a little wine, and we teach classes on painting and so forth.
And you also have, aren't you hosting Cafe Flamenco
Yes, I think we did.
with Carlos?
Yeah.
We
was
have
that
in the past.
we had flamenco dancers in the past.
Yes.
I'd have to check our schedule here to see if that's coming up this year.
So, what?
I'll tell you what we need.
Yeah.
We need a sound system. because we have a lot of speakers coming to it, and we don't have a good sound system to reach out for all of the audience. So that's something that we could, we desperately need in addition to
How
the other
much
stuff.
is about a sound system, is it, in your opinion?
I haven't done a study on that, but,
I would say a couple of
thousand,
couple
yeah.
of thousand, yeah.
Yeah, so we have, for the small theater that we have.
Okay, so if you own an electronics store or pawn shop, ALAC needs a sound system to
We need flooring
flooring.
we need to upgrade our bathrooms, so I would say we'd like to gut them and redesign them, in a professional way,
Yeah.
because we have so many
Is
guests.
that an old building?
It's a worn building.
It's a important building.
I've been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It's presentable,
it's presentable and
but it
clean.
needs a lot of work.
Yeah, so it's not.
But
fun.
also, what's really important is you might call out to. We need some grant writers. We need people to come in and be able to write some grants, because once again, I'm an artist. I'm not a writer. Those type of things. Gentleman here. So we do our best that we can, but we're not. That's not our field, and so that's some of the things that we could really use, because that will give us access.
We need to raise funds.
activities.
You guys aren't getting any grants at all?
We have, but not.
But the thing is that
anything big.
That takes a lot of time. I'm going to focus this year on grant because I have done some grant writing, and so I'm going to focus on that this year to help raise funds.
Okay.
So, there's people, we've had, home improvement stores come in and donate to organizations the flooring. We have to still find somebody to install it. We get donations on paint. We need somebody to help us paint. So we have little bits and things going. We've had some funds coming in. We've had Arizona Public Service was a major contributor. We've had other companies help with us, but this requires asking and asking every year.
Yeah.
And so now that we're down to a skeleton crew, we just need to bring in more people. We want to concentrate on membership, and we want to concentrate on fundraising.
And speaking of skeletons, Roman Reyes, I don't know if you could see this. Can you see this? Or let me see here. I'm hoping there's not, yeah, there we go. There's not a glare there. But Roman, tell us what you were thinking about here with the skeleton holding what appears to be a corona.
Well, this is a painting. It's called "There's a Bone in My Menudo," and you can see there's a calaca eating a piece of bread, and he's in a big bowl of menudo, and we can all relate to that. We can all relate to the menudo and the bone, and then you have the calacas in the background. So it's a very Latino type of piece of artwork, and one that everybody can relate to, and it's fun.
But what inspired you to do this?
Well, one of the things when I started there at ALAC was I really didn't do a lot of Latino work, a lot of, and as I got more into the culture, more into the spirit of what we do in our culture, I realized that these are excellent images, and I love them, and there's a lot of stories behind them. Once again, the Day of the Dead, we all celebrate Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, and it's becoming a big thing here in the United States. And so we're kind of on the cusp of a lot of the things that are happening.
Well, that kind of looks like me.
I think it was.
So the lime is important.
Yeah,
I like the lime.
bolillo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not an empanada?
No.
Wow.
We've exhibited other artists and writers that are not Latino.
Yes.
And so one of them was Patsy Lowry. If
Okay.
she gets a chance to listen to it, we had a big exhibit with her. And Patsy Lowry is from Scottsdale.
Mm-hmm.
And, she didn't, her dad wanted her to go to college back east, and she didn't want to. She's an artist. And so he sent her down to Mexico. And, you know, that was supposed to be, I suppose, a punishment. But what happened is she came back just in love with the Mexican culture because of its vivid colors. And so her paintings are in reminisce of the Mexican culture. So her paintings are very popular and sell for quite a bit. And then one of the other things is that she loved the dresses in Mexico that were so colorful that she would design some of them. And so she had several of her paintings there, and she had a couple of the gowns there that she's designed. But you think about our folklorico dancers, she took it to the next extreme. Just absolutely gorgeous.
Well, you know, our director, Elizabeth Toledo, she does a whole series of La Llorona. And then we have some of the other artists, and I'm not going to name all, but Jose Andres Huron, who is really, really well known for his Mexican typical artwork. And then there's Ramon Aguirre, and then we have a Native American young man who is doing phenomenal. His name is Pierre, Preston Pierre. Anyway, so there's a lot of artists there that are doing great things, and you know it's one of the things for people to come in and really enjoy the artwork, because a lot of them don't know that we're there, and it's an excellent location. They can come in and they can see that tiendita. We have studios in the back. Right now I'm working on a horse, and it's going to be a two-man horse, and it's going to be for parades and stuff. And so there's a lot of exciting things happening, and there's a whole, you know, different artists come and go.
Yeah, and if they have a Latino theme that we can identify with, it doesn't matter who they are. But we have had speakers from the black community come in because we share a culture, and I think we've had black writers come in, black artists, and so all of this is important.
They're equal opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, Pat Lowry.
It's for the community. It's for the community.
Yeah, it's for the community.
Yes.
But the thing that I'm most proud about our artist is that one morning they open up the Galleria, and there was a young man who was homeless sitting in front of the door, because it's like a little porch area. Yeah. And they invited him in, and they asked him, you know, what do you do? And well, he didn't do anything, but he says, I fold paper. And so he folded a dress. He made a purse, and it's a very beautiful. And then once we did an exhibit. Well, because of that exhibit, he was picked up, and people got interested in him. He's now in college. I think he's probably completing a degree. Yes. So we were there to help him in his time of need. Yeah. And so we've done that, and that's why I'm so proud of these guys, because you know they outreach to the artists.
Well,
they
karma
know that.
points.
We mentor some of the young artists, because you know I'm an old guy. You know.
No, and, you're only 29.
There you go.
I swear you're only 29.
Well, you know, it's you know, I taught at the Phoenix College for 34 years, so you can imagine do the math. And I retired 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So I've been at ALAC the last going on 8 years since it started. And so a lot of the other artists too have been there for quite a while. Yes.
So what is your top seller at the store? What generates income? What can people donate for the store?
Well, a lot of the artists paint and sell
T-shirts,
their items and T-shirts. We have some beautiful stuff. We have a lot of jewelry. We have carvings, masks, anything with the Latino theme.
Cha-Cha Chicha, her line of T-shirts. What's the name? The drummer guy in was wearing it from the Beatles. No, was it
for the Beatles? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he wore her shirt. Yeah. So I bought one.
Oh, okay, good.
So it's beautiful. You know, you can come down there and see it.
How about music from musicians, Chicano, Latino musicians.
We do have some of that
Oh yes,
there.
oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
definitely.
Some
yeah,
of it
yeah.
gets donated.
Well, one of our we had a resident mariachi youth group there
Yeah.
that perform all the time.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was surprised to see here that you hosted wedding.
Yes.
Oh yes, right.
Weddings.
We rent the space.
Uh-huh.
How much do you rent the space, if you don't mind me? Does it depend on the tables you have to put together?
Well, I think it begins at around 400 plus if you need tables, if you need chairs, and then there's a staff to prep it, and then there's a staff to clean it up. So that's kind of negotiable. So for
Yes.
other nonprofits, we give them a break. For private parties, it's a little bit more.
Okay.
So so we use that money.
Do any of your events, like I'm looking at your event here for 2018, and you have Mil Palabras, the photojournalist exhibit of their personal legacy pieces, which is going to begin, opens first Friday, this Friday,
yes.
March 2nd, where the artists are conveying stories through their photographs. But do you guys look for, those powerhouse artists from other parts of the country that can just...
Well, Patsy Lowry was one.
Okay.
So I think the painting that she exhibit was 10,000. We had some artists from Mexico sponsored by the Mexican Council,
Yes.
and they were award winners in Mexico. And I think those were selling for 3,000. They were
Wow.
just incredible, and they sold. Not all of them, but several of them sold for 3,000. And the interesting thing about it is that we're so close to the convention center and to the hotels in downtown Phoenix. People walked in and they saw it and they say, "I'll buy that one and that one at $3,000 a piece."
Wow.
So we know that we're in a good location and we can serve our artists no matter where they're from.
One of my favorite artists that used to live here is now living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Moises.
Yeah, Moises.
Oh,
right.
yes,
And I'd
uh-huh.
love to see his
Oh, yes.
work.
Yes,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah, Moises, Lalo Cota, and it just really goes on.
Here's, we have,
Zarco Guerrero.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
Zarco. Is
yeah.
Zarco still involved with ALAC?
Yeah,
He
is.
comes by every now and then,
He
yes.
does- he
yes,
does
yes,
it.
yeah.
One of the artists that we had, he's, well, I guess we have several, don't we? They're all wonderful, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, so when you have these artist exhibits, they really bring in a lot of attention then.
Oh, yes,
They do.
definitely,
Mhm.
yeah.
And our First Friday events are free. We ask for people when they exhibit the gallery part. The tienda, there's no cost. But if you go into the Galleria, we ask for donations, and I think veterans and students are free, and other people are, what, $3?
Yeah,
I think our most expensive one is $3.
What you can afford.
Yeah, so people can, we want them to see it, and it helps us to maintain the lights
Yeah.
for that day.
We won't turn anybody down.
Have you guys visited other Arizona Latino arts cultural centers that, emulate this one here? What
Well,
do they do that's
they
different
don't,
than
there's
you?
not a one in the state. The closest one that I know of is in New Mexico.
New Mex- yeah.
And I was at their center, and then there's another one in Iowa that I was in. It was near downtown,
Yeah.
strangely enough, in Iowa.
And
And
have you been to the San Diego one?
I've been to the LA one.
Okay.
I haven't been to the San Diego
Oh,
one.
that one's nice.
Yeah.
And that's where we want to get our
Yeah.
facility too. So but there's a lot that we can do.
Okay.
Yes.
Is the rent really high being downtown and you're in a hot spot?
Yes, yeah. We do. We have demand for it during the when we're hosting the National Football League or we're hosting basketball. That downtown becomes really big, and then we'll rent out some of our space to sports vendors. so that
Yeah.
we can, okay, you take this, you pay us this much, and
Right.
we'll squeeze you guys into the bathroom or whatever,
Exactly.
into the other part of the gallery. So
Yeah.
several thousand square
We make
feet.
it work. We make it work.
We make it work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Let me do this call. Please, tonight's show is dedicated to both artists and community involvement. Typically, I'll flip-flop from artists, and then I'll do a community show, and then an artist show. But today we're doing both art and community involvement. And I'm making a call for those anywhere in the Southwest. It doesn't have to be just limited to Arizona, but if you are a lover of the arts, I'm asking you, to be a member of the ALAC. And all it is, a yearly fee of $25 if you're an artist. Individuals, a $25, yearly fee to be a supporting member of ALAC. Students are only $10. Veterans are $10.
and our address.
And the address is where? Oh yeah, there it is. Oh my goodness, there's a crease there. The address of ALAC, if you want to go visit and buy things from the tiendita,
Right.
or buy art, is located at 147 East Adams Street in Phoenix. That's in downtown Phoenix. 147 East Adams Street, Phoenix, Arizona. The number, if you have any questions, is 602-254-9817. What am I missing? I want to close with a statement from the two of you. What am I missing? What does the audience need to know?
We're totally self-funded. We get no government funds, and so we're self-funding.
Yes.
We're very independent. So it's not like a lot of organizations that may get some money from the state or the city. We're entirely self-funded by our artists because
Right.
of their work and what we do in the community.
Yes. And everybody's welcome. Everyone is welcome.
Okay.
This is for the community.
This is what I like to say. When you walk into your home, you should have something there that represents you, your spiritual beliefs and your cultural beliefs. And so you should have something Latino in your house, even if you're not, because you're in this area that is very strong, has a strong history
Yes.
of Latino, Mexican culture in it. There should be one in your office and one in your home.
What are the hours of operation?
I'm glad you brought that up, because we're closed Sunday and Monday. We're open from 11 to 6 the rest of the week. So we're only closed on Sunday.
But
and Monday.
many times we have functions that go on till 10 o'clock at night. So it's not restricted to that, because like I said last night, it was late, and then the night before it was also late. So we're there a lot.
Okay.
But the working hours are from 6 to from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Now, how many board members are on ALAC?
We have
Currently.
6 board members. And, we're looking for people that would like to join the board and bring in more expertise.
And
Yes.
how does a person do that? Because I feel like that's going to be your strength is,
Yes.
board members, if you're going to serve on a board, I feel like you should earn that position. Not a title, just so that you can escalate to
Like
the next
Al.
whatever. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
And I know now.
we ask our board members to make a commitment of $1,000 a year, either donating $500 and bringing in cash for $500, bringing $1,000 worth of energy into ALAC, one
So
way
it
or
could
another.
be $500 cash and sweat equity and a lot of sweat equity.
A lot of sweat equity.
Wow. Wow, that I could be a board member then.
Yes.
That's easy.
We'd love to have you as board member. Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
we need to get you some board members that
Yes.
will just
That are on fire.
infuse.
Yeah.
Yes, that are enthused about the arts. So Yes, so if anybody is interested, you know, they can contact me on my cell phone, which is 602-708-1942. That's a very good year. And at ALAC, we have someone there during the week, open hours. But even then, you know, if you want to call there and leave a message for me, then I or the executive director will call you back.
Or just join us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Al, you know, a little bit of his history is he's been president and board member of the Hispanic Association of Real Estate Professions Business Trade Organization, president and board member of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, president and co-founder and board member of the Central Arizona Escrow Association, a professional trade organization, board member of Community Council, Community Forum, a United Way organization giving assistance to nonprofit groups, board member of Jewish Family and Children's Service, a community health organization, board member of Affordable Housing Groups of Urban Coalition West, Valley Corps, and Corp, and Homes for Independent Disabled, nonprofit housing development corporations, and you've held numerous appointed positions such as chairperson for the Governor's Women and Minority Business Development Advisory Board, Governor's Conference on Small Business Advisory Steering Committee, Mayor's Phoenix Futures Forum Management Steering Committee. And the reason why I'm reading a little bit of Al's background is I want my audience to understand his dedication to community. And when he is here on the show, protecting the territory that, you know, is down to a skeleton crew, 100% volunteer, you know, just it's barely, you know, working. I mean, he's had it open for.
Yeah, we want to expand it.
Yeah.
Add more people, add more artists, add more support.
So I mean, this is, you know, we need to protect our culture in the state of Arizona. Obviously, that goes without saying. I know you and I have worked against SB 1070.
Yes.
So
yeah, we worked on that.
I mean, you've got Al, and Roman is here, and just, you know, you got to protect our territory.
Right.
And
We've hosted events for the immigrants and activities, so that was very important. Where you know, they have a place to come and meet, and so we've been very active in that area.
What were you doing last night, late last night? Why were you open late last night at the ALAC?
We had the gentleman from, I forget his name, but he's the one that's doing the research in Europe of lost artifacts.
That's
right.
The lost artifacts.
I saw that
Yes.
on your Facebook page.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't able to attend, but I would love to have seen that. I'm going to wait for the book.
Yes, and he's also doing a DVD. I can't wait for it either. You know, I'm visual, and I wanna see it. I've been to a lot of museums throughout the world, and for example, when I was in New Zealand, I saw the Frida Kahlo exhibit. You know, in New Zealand,
Wow.
and it was phenomenal. So yeah.
You know, I was I wasn't at ALAC one day, but I was going to an event at the Phoenix Art Museum, and I brought a guest with me. She wasn't familiar with Phoenix, so I said, well, come on, I'm attending this event in downtown Phoenix, and I think you should be a part of it, because it was a Latino presentation at the Phoenix Art Museum. So after the event was open, I went up there, and I said, well, here is Picasso, an original one. Oh yeah, that's wonderful, you know. Over here is Diego Rivera. Oh God, that was wonderful. But this is why I love art, is because then I walked over there to the painting by Frida Kahlo. It was a picture of her, and it was under a piece of plastic frame, not very expensive, and she touched that plastic frame, and she broke down in tears.
Oh, wow.
And she says, I identify with her suffering so much. And I traveled from Colombia all the way to San Diego by myself. My mother took me to Central America, but then let me go the rest of the way. And she said, I'd been through an awful lot, and I identify with her. And her tears were real. And I think that, you know, if you can just get that, if you can see one art piece that does that to you, then, you know, that's something to treasure.
Yes, that's what I love about art.
You know, it's just, so I've seen that that's happened a lot. And when I was a child,
I buy on impulse.
yes,
I have that.
you know, so, you know, when you take a look at a painting, you always see it in 2 dimensions. But not all paintings are 2-dimensional. They're not this way and this way. A lot of them, you can, when you touch them, you can feel the individual petals, the brush strokes of that flower has 10 petals on it. Each one of those petals is made, and you can feel it. So that's what amazed me about artists.
Well, you know, giving an example, you know, I did 7 sculptures for the Shriners, and they were Aztec deities, and they were 6 and 7, 8 foot tall. And so late at night, I was sculpting it out of styrofoam and then painting it to make it look like stone. So, and then late at night, I was there sitting looking at it, and I had this feeling that transcended that the artist that originally made the deity that I was copying, because that's what they wanted, was having the same feelings, the same, the same problems, the same. What was he going to do next? How was he going to do it? Was it coming out okay? Is this what they wanted? So I sat there, and I kind of transformed. I kind of envisioned me being that Aztec Indian working on that piece of work, and so that's how deep sometimes it gets.
So he had a peyote experience in art form.
The paintings that they've done is even in the alley, for the full length of the block in the alley, it is painted with beautiful paintings. Each one of them, you know, could be hung on someone's wall. You're welcome to take a picture of it and put it on your cell phone. And that's what I did, so and I can show people what they've done in the back. So every house should have that painting. And people want to know, what do I collect? Well, you know, for years I didn't know what I collected until I kind of put them together, and I thought, oh my God,
that's what I collect.
It's all food. So I mean, you can find out about yourself. You know, what do you like? You may not know. You just like this and you like that. And, you know, before I know it, I say, oh my gosh, well, you know, it's food, and which is not bad. I like food.
Yes. I am very honored to have Roman here, Roman Reyes, a local artist who has created numerous murals, paintings, sculpture, and computer art pieces locally. And his international art can be found in New Zealand, United Arab Emirates, Cuba, China, Brazil, Ireland, and Mexico. And his painted change was recently accepted by Barack Obama, and I voted for Barack Obama in 2012 for the first time. That was my first Democratic president that I voted for was Barack Obama in 2012.
Yeah, let's give her.
Right, and he earned a Bachelor of Science in Commercial Art from ASU and an MBA International from Thunderbird School of Global Management. And he completed the majority of coursework leading to an ED.D degree at Nova University, right?
Doctor, yeah.
And he is a professor at Emeritus.
Emeritus, yeah. That means I'm retired.
Oh my God. I'm very honored to have these two guests on my show.
Thank you.
You know, I want to add one more thing, and that is, there's so many Latino artists. Many of us have seen Snoopy on the cartoons.
Yeah.
Do you know who drew those?
Who?
Melendez. He was a Mexican artist. He does all of that. Yeah. And we had his exhibit there. I did not know
Snoopy?
Snoopy, yeah.
Wow.
So the Peanuts character.
Okay.
All right, so so he did all of those, the Peanuts cartoons, the movies, you know, all of that. So he was the draft. You'll see his signature. When you watch a movie, it's
Look
there.
for Melendez.
You look for Melendez. He is the artist. See, people thought it was someone else. So we're hidden. We're so deeply embedded in the culture that people don't understand that and see it, but we're there.
Okay.
So please come down
Yes.
to the center.
Come to ALAC at 147 East Adams Street in Phoenix, Arizona. And if you have any questions, call 602-254-9817. And that'll be it for the Tequila Onda show. And Osvaldo will be getting us out of here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Gracias.
You're welcome.
This was great. Thank
No,
you.
I know what I said. I'm gonna volunteer at
fantastic.
least once. You know, one.
great.
That's my contribution,
Oh.
and at least I can, you know, help others to do the same thing. I can do it.